y'all, Natalie here for Cherry on Top today, and we have another volume of our Freshen Up series, and today we're going to focus on foiling. A lot of you asked for this. You either have bought a Minc machine and foil and have never used it, or I'm also going to give you ways of using your foil without a machine. So the first one is using the Minc machine, or any laminator really, and the pre-made laser tags that Heidi Swap sells. There's also other brands that sell them. ThermaWeb, Gina K, I think she's with ThermaWeb. So I'm just showing you that it didn't look like it got everything. So I'm running it through one more time. And there it is. So every area on the tag that was black, it stuck to, because it's like a laser print, and you can print your own laser images. If you don't have a laser printer at home, you can print them at like Staples or something like that, and it works really great. So I have die cut these these are just sheets of the black laser background that Heidi Swap sells, and I have die cut a part of a snowflake out of it, and I think I'm using the ThermaWeb foil. So that's the thing. So with all of this foil, it is interchangeable, and that is gorgeous. Love how that turned out. It got every little bit because that's what it's made to do. So you can foil and die cut, or you can die cut then foil. So that's what I'm showing you now, is that I foiled and now I'm going to die cut it. And it worked well either way. In my opinion, I didn't have a problem. So there you got it. So next we will try some non-machine techniques. So right now I'm just using strips of tape to add little stripes to this piece of vellum, and the foil will stick directly onto adhesive. So that's what I'm doing. Super easy. And this is a good way to use up your scraps of foil. So I only needed that tiny little bit. And again, I'm using a scrap. And the thing about this is when you put tape on your area that you want to foil, if you miss a spot, you can go back in and just add more foil. Like, it doesn't have to be super precise, because all you're doing is sticking that little bit of foil to the tape, and it's not a design or anything like that. So yeah, super simple right there. It's a good way to basically just add stripes to anything. Yeah, cute. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a glue pen on this wood veneer. And I'm not sure if it's because my glue is old or what. It didn't stick as I intended. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So it did stick to it and give it color, but it's definitely a distressed look. And throughout this video, that's what you're going to find is basically most of the techniques. If you don't mind a distressed look, or you want a distressed look, they're great. Otherwise, if you want a very crisp image, a very sharp foiling, you're going to need to use the printing image. So print on laser ink and with laser ink and foil that, because that's the best way of getting a precise image. So there's the world, and it's cute. It's distressed. And so this is another way of using it without the machine. I am just taking that same glue pen, and I'm just coloring through my stencil, and I'm doing it like in the same pattern that I would do if I was doing texture paste. Like, I'm not applying it all over. I'm just applying it in like maybe 3 different sections. And again, this is a distressed look, but because I guess it's really hard to just fully give it a coverage with the glue. And I'm just like smishing the foil down on top. And you are supposed to let the glue dry actually before you stick it down, which I find odd, but maybe you're just supposed to get it like tacky. I was doing it pretty fast, and that glue pen is from ThermaWeb, and so that's exactly what it's made for, is to use it with foil. So you can see I'm just like burnishing it, like definitely, smoothing on the foil. And there you can see. So you can definitely still see the cardstock through the foiled image. And it's not sticky when you touch it. But you also definitely have the foil. It's just a distressed look of it. And I really like that. So next we're going to try some sticky embossing. And I'm going to tell you, spoiler alert, that this didn't really work properly because I sent it through my Minc machine. I think it's not made to go through the Minc. I think you just do it like the glue and you just apply it sticky, but it wasn't sticky when I did that. And it could just be that my sticky heat embossing powder is old, because it is old. And I don't know, I think that goes bad. So that didn't really work. And so I sent it through the Minc, and this is what happened. It smushed it, which makes sense because it just reactivated the heating powder, and obviously that just smushed it all around when I smushed it through there. This is my favorite technique. So this is a screen. It's not a stencil, it's a screen that Heidi Swap makes. And I'm using her Minc Reactive Toner. So it's like in a spray bottle. It didn't spray though. I had to like use the thing. And scraping it through that stencil. And then you have to let it dry, which was painful because it took a long time. So that's sitting over there to dry. And in the meantime, I'm going to use my alcohol inks. So alcohol inks are fun. What you do is you make your alcohol ink design and you blow it all around. And in the areas where you have, sorry, I'm blowing the ink. There's no big head in the way. In the areas where you have a lot of ink, where it's taking longer to dry and it's a little bit tacky, those are the areas where the foil will stick. So I just stuck down my foil on top of those specific areas. Excuse me. And I do run it through the Minc machine to get it to adhere. And it gives, it's a subtle look for sure, because it definitely didn't stick all over the whole image, and it's almost impossible to do so because, alcohol inks dry so quickly. But I guess you could get it to stick over most of the image if you just ran it through immediately before they were dry, but they dry so quickly, it would be hard. But it stuck to the little pools of color that weren't completely dry. And it gives this really cool look like a geode, or those rocks that are super popular. That's what it reminds me of. And so you can use that as a card base, or you could die cut it with any of your dies and it would be super pretty. So now I am running through the Minc Reactive Paste that I went through the silk screen. And this is my favorite, y'all. I love this so much. I'm definitely going to be using this. Look how gorgeous that is. I'm so excited. Look how pretty that is. So that worked really well, and I'm a fan. And I think it would work through a stencil. I used a screen for her that she had made specifically for it, but I think it would work in a stencil. I'm going to do some more investigating. So this is finally, I'm trying out the Heidi Swap Minc ink pad. This is something that just came out this year. And I'm here to tell you it's a mess, okay? It's a mess, a sticky mess. You pour the ink on, it gets all over your fingers, which of course I'm a messy person anyway, but it's very sticky. You need to use a coated cardstock because I had the problem of the sticky ink was making my stamp stick to the paper, and it was like ripping the paper off on some of the. And this is a known problem. I didn't know that before I started this video, but it's a known problem. So you really need a coated cardstock. I think distress stamping cardstock is something that Tim Holtz makes. Also, the ink pad will dry out after a time. So you need to have a bunch of stuff ready to stamp. So I just did a ton of stamping all at once so I could utilize my ink properly. So there you have where I ran the vellum through, and it looks good. It is not 100% precise. It is pretty and I like it, but it definitely is, again, a distressed look. So if you like a distressed look, go for it. I enjoyed this, and you can see me use these on a layout soon. But again, if you want the very precise, crisp image, printing it with a laser printer is the best way to do this. But if you want to use your stamps, this is fun. I like this. These stamps are from Catherine Pooler. They're the Nordic Star stamps. And now I'm going to use them on a layout. So I have die cut all of the foiled images out that I stamped. And I also die cut that wood grain paper that I did the foil on. I just die cut them with even though I didn't use the stamp, I used the star dies and just did more shapes because it was so pretty. So now I'm stamping with regular ink, and so you can see I cleaned off my Nordic Star stamps. I did use a toothbrush to get in there, but some of the ink from the Heidi Swapp Minc ink pad is still there. They did stain my stamps, which is fine. It doesn't come off. It doesn't ruin the stamping image or anything like that. I just want you to be aware that that ink is very sticky and it stains. So yeah, I'm just making Christmas color Nordic stars now to accompany my foiled stars. I love this. They're so fun. I got so many stars. And I'm going to do a wreath design today. So I have these photos of my little guys. We were at a place next to their daycare that sells Christmas trees, and we were just having a little Christmas shoot last year. And so when I looked up a punny title idea, I saw a lot of shirts for little boys that say Tree Rex. So I was like, cool, yeah, this is going to be a Christmas dinosaur page, obviously. So I have these little dinosaurs that I cut out from my Cricut, and I mirror imaged one, so one's facing one direction and one's the other. And now I'm just assembling those. And those are from a cartridge called Dinosaur that I had purchased a long time ago. But you could do any dinosaur image that you find on Google image search. And instead of trying to find the little tiny piece of paper that goes for their eyeballs, I'm just using these Nuvo drops, and they worked fabulously. And they're just cute little dinos. So we set those aside to dry. And I traced myself a circle with my white gel pen on this cute doodle bug buffalo check background, just to kind of make sure that I put my wreath in the general circular direction. So now I'm just kind of making sure that I'm getting color dispersed evenly with all of the different options I have, and just tucking in the stamped images among the foiled images, and just loving it and seeing where I want to position my dinos. And I'm going to put my title there in the middle. So that looks good. That's what I want to do. My title is going to be Holly Jolly Tree Rexes. So I have that spelled out with thickers now, and I'm going to start adhering everything down. So I actually make the pictures pretty straight on there because there's a lot going on this page. But I always like to show you how to use your product or the embellishments or the product that we're focusing on. I like to show you how to actually apply those onto a page, onto a scrapbook page. So yeah, I use a lot of those foiled images on the scrapbook page, and it makes it so festive. Oh, and I cut out little Santa hats for the T-Rexes, and I'm going to add a little puffball, a little pom-pom for the end of the hat. So I yeah, I hope that if you have a Minc or you have a laminator or you just have foil, that you've been inspired to pull it out of your stash and use it. It is fun, especially this time of year if you celebrate Christmas, or even if you don't. This winter magical sparkly time of year is so fabulous for using foil. I love it. It's so fun. So definitely pull out those supplies and use them up. I definitely recommend it. Using the stamping was fun, but it definitely was messy. But if you are a huge stamper, it's definitely something you should try. And you might be better at it than I am. You do have to let it dry before you run it through the Minc machine. That's the worst part about all of that, is you have to wait. So there's the title, and I'm just going to add a few more embellishments, and then we're going to be done. I'm going to add this Christmas tree from my stash. Those are like really old stickers. And then I have these cute little puffy lights from Paper House Productions, and I'm going to string those along, and then I end up cutting another string just to fit properly where I need it. Just add a little bit more, like this layout needs more. It's so busy, but it's super fun. but it was talking about trees, so I figured lights go on trees, so it goes. But I thank you guys for watching. There's so many amazing deals over at Cherry on Top right now. I'm going to stick my affiliate link down below, and you can also get 20% off all your shopping and your shipping right now. So pop over there. And I thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about foiling, and I'll try to answer those. And I hope that you've been inspired to use up your supplies. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.